This video has been brought to you by Zedaph's Patreon.
Hello, Zedaph here. Sorry I can't come to the phone right now. If you're calling about wanting me to voice some kind of recap video, leave your message after the sheep.
This is a Discord call?
Go on then. Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap. Wait a minute, it says here my name is Pixel Riff scratched out, my name is Mumbo scratched out, my name is Zedaph, parenthesis, if he agrees. Our writer is Sloy XP, captions on this video are provided by Liara, and I'm not sure what it is you want me to do from here.
Well, this is Hermitcraft recap. We recap Hermitcraft here.
So you're assuming I know what every hermit has done just because I am one? I don't exactly go spying on my neighbours or anything like that.
No, but you literally do though.
Well, I don't write it down at least, do I? I could tell you how my week went if that's any help. Yeah, tell you what, let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred to the Zedaph this week. Starting with that time CubFan135 spent 2 episodes in a row preparing me a lovely gift for my Hall of All's advancement, where I need one of every single thing in Minecraft. And it just so happens that Deep Slate Emerald Ore is a thing. Being the rarest ore block in the game, it's no wonder that I didn't already have one. And it's no wonder that Cub did. So he decided to make me really work for it, solving alley-adjacent puzzles to try and break into the room with the precious ore. CubFan finishes decorating the little adventure with a splash of colour, though I could have gone without the parkour course he added last minute. At least the cake room didn't try to kill me. Though that one, I'm going to have to shimmy. Let's go. Boom. Oh, Clarence, literally! Clarence blocked me! You mean face! Okay, oh, I wished him birthday and everything.
See, it's funny because on the same week, Randok got not just the Deep Slate Emerald Ore, but Deep Slate Emerald Ore mini block. A wandering trader offering it spawned at his base, and he had to speedrun looking for the full block to trade before the villager despawned back.
With a bit of luck and many hours of pointless grind, we managed to get ourselves 8 of the rarest mini blocks in the game.
Really now?
Yeah. Also the same week, Green decides to start collecting rare Minecraft items, and turns out that he had a block of Emerald Ore this entire time. He has since collected even more rare items, by the way.
Interesting. Actually, I just remembered. Sorry, I gotta go. I left the stove open. Can I also borrow your ski mask? No reason.
2 tall grass. What are the chances of a 1% drop in a savannah village? I don't know what the chances are of getting both of these.
Grian actually does us a favour and provides the entire server with a quick getaway. Well, him, Etho and Good Times with Scar do. After Etho shows them that you can combine Depth Strider, Dolphin's Grace, Soul Speed and the speed effect from beacons to go on foot faster than you can on an Elytra, Scar and Grian take turns building a giant superhighway through the server as a sort of joined project. Joined being the keyword because your joints will probably hurt a lot after having to run this fast. The biggest roadblock in the, well, road turns out to be the pre-established shops that you can't simply run through even at max speed. If not for these buildings being in the way, the single line stretch from Scar's castle porch could connect almost everyone's bases without a single bend. Which would certainly come in handy for when Beef announces another card drop and we all run to his store. Not that Scar doesn't have other reasons to want foot traffic across his property. After all, the faster the tourists can get to his theme park, the more time they can spend gawking at the pretty castle he's building. Having finally broken through the decade of anxieties he's had about building a castle in Minecraft, Scar puts out what for many would be the full build, but for him, it's just the front door.
The height of this castle will be somewhere around 300. That's right, we were just at 300. So you can imagine this thing will get enormous, which is super, super exciting. So
maybe Doc M is right, and a dragon would look really nice circling the thing. I guess we'll only find out if Scar wins the duel Doc proposed to the hot guy. Bow and arrow, at the exact place and the exact time. Though this is Doc we're talking about, and let's not pretend we've forgotten his netherite blaster rail cannon. Still, if Scar does somehow snatch the victory from the mouth of defeat, hopefully this pet will do better than the chicken jockey he tried to employ at the popcorn kiosk. It died.
the creature suffocated, and the chicken's still alive, but the zombie is dead. It's now name tag 1213 something or other. I have saved that thing for months and months.
On one hand, hooray, no child labour. On the other, oh dear, child murder. By the time the duel comes, Doc M might not want to use neither bow nor arrows. It's hard to imagine Doc battling with anything but anvils and cards nowadays.
Right,
So we need to flip a coin to determine who goes first.
Do you genuinely have to do this whilst you're invisible, Joe?
Oh, I can put.
Yeah, that would help.
Having gotten into the Hermitcraft the card game scene, Doc has already found his footing and figured out how to min-max his deck to where no one can defeat it. Though personally, I think just shouting the attack names with more vigour than him might work. But that probably doesn't help against the anvils much.
Okay,
Yes.
excellent. Okay, got it. All right,
Okay.
that's my turn. So we're going to
Okay.
pass
That's
the
your
turn,
turn.
pushing a button, this one.
Yep.
Wow, that was impressive.
Got him! I'm sorry.
Around quite a bit.
Quite happy with his card gaming career, Doc builds a place to display his collection at the perimeter. And if you have no idea what any of these mean, it just looks like he has pictures of his friends plastered all over his walls, and doesn't that just sound lovely? Coincidentally, Etho is often plastered over Doc's floor, but when he isn't, Etho develops sustainable ethical bone meal farming below his base. The moss farm array feeds into a composter, feeding back into itself, and whatever's left then comes in handy for multiplying vegetables and making tree farming happen.
All that uses bone meal, but then it lets out a TNT here to harvest the oak logs and the rooted dirt, and we automatically farm it without having to do anything, which is really, really cool.
However, sustainable subterranean systems can't fulfill his one true need. The need for speed.
And then it said Rondon here, but I couldn't explain to Zedaph what that meant.
Forget the full-body hydroplaning highway, Etho and Rendog are back at it with ice boat racing. The two have discovered an enormous assembly of ice biomes with a single frozen river feeding into what seems to be multiple ice oceans, meaning that they won't have to farm any ice of their own and could just outline the racetrack through the roads that are already there. It only takes one Microsoft Paint scribble for them to push the idea back to insane levels of workload. After all, it wouldn't be a good race if they just took the easy road.
Oh, there's
Yeah,
like a
this is the
system
cave
here.
I saw, Ren. This is what I was thinking of.
Nice.
I don't know if we could make that work in any way, but I thought that was cool.
Between that and putting 60 villagers into the stratosphere to build an iron golem farm out of them, Ren really has his fill for large projects. Which is why when doing the office for the Gigalogs, he just moves the campfire barbecue Keralis and him met at inside the Gigalogs facility. The fire department love him. Keralis, in the meantime, learns to juggle hopper minecarts. The sugarcane farm design he picked off of Ilmango combines the harvesting slime block machine with the gathering of the produce just by putting the hopper minecarts onto the slime piston arm.
Ilmango is a pure genius. I love this so much. And this. I just couldn't get enough.
Or maybe that's just the copious amounts of smoke inhalation talking. Keralis covers his farm pit up, just so no one interferes with the fickle life cycle of a common minecart. In its place, he builds up a massive warehouse where, for once, wares will in fact be housed. Any material the base produces will now be stored in the stores, and wares housed in the warehouse. I guess it does kind of look like a hangar, though no one will go hangry with all the produce the base is producing. Sloy, I hate you for writing this.
Envision this for the future. It's, by the way, it's humongous. It is a design made by Cubitexture.
Impulse SV's solution for storing the many things he mass produces is to nest them into shulker boxes. Adding a massive array of shulker box loaders, he's ready to package up to 7 million items, some of which he might even use. The rest could probably fit right at the iBuy Emporium, and you could even help him name them. He already put out a call for name suggestions for the shops he's already built, and people delivered, with some delightfully punny names.
I had a post on both TikTok and Twitter for you guys to submit your name suggestions. Good luck. We'll see if your name gets picked.
Also, Green and Scar show up and make his full inventory disappear through an anvil glitch, even though neither of them are Doc M or Etho. Difference being, they would have done it intentionally.
I died and then drop a second anvil on me. None of us knew that if you drop an anvil from more than 3 blocks high on something on the ground, it deletes it, which was very, very bad because all my stuff was in the hole.
Joe Hills pays him a friendlier visit, though having to buy shulker boxes out of the crates in the back alley of his store feels pretty shady. He rates it 5 stars anyway.
Egg Joe Hills says, best card ever, Impulse. Love it. 5 stars.
Ever the galaxy brain, Joe makes it his goal to fill in the nether tunnel to his pinball machine as well as its broadside with a picture taken from the James Webb Telescope, building it pixel by pixel at approximately the speed it takes to download anything from the thing in the first place.
This sure was something. And I have plenty more to do on the other sides of the machine, but this feels like a huge step. I feel so accomplished and so excited.
By contrast, Pearlescent Moon digs deeper into the logic of people hiding from the things that came from space. At her base, more of the story of the alien invasion survivors is revealed through building the place most responsible for keeping them less dead, the hospital. Be it the ambulance garage or the medical bay facility, Pearl makes it pretty clear through subtle environmental storytelling that survive, they did not. It's the little things, like the skulls. Bringing her own twist to the ever-present card game, Pearl admits that the dueling doesn't really appeal to her as much as the idea of collecting all the cards does. The trick is you have to duel to get tokens to buy more card packs. On the other hand, you get a token for the games you lose too, so you might as well just throw your deck at Zombie Cleo over and over and call it a day. It's not what Pearl decides to do, but it's certainly a valid option. And Cleo is just as ever-present as the game itself, being one of the few games masters of the Hermit TCG. They're an adept enough card game player to recognise that it's opening new card packs that's the best part of the whole thing. So we've got Pearl the Collector and Cleo the booster pack opening streamer.
Just got another rare beef. No offense, beef. You made the game. You should have made yourself like a better rare.
You might complain about the spare vintage beefs now, but keep them in mint condition, and in 10 years' time they might buy you a house. Besides, some people like their beef rare, and not like Cleo does, with everyone.
Do you know why I think you're scary, Cleo?
I'd love to know.
And then you kidnapped Scar's llama, or whatever
That's
it was.
not scary. That's cute.
And I asked myself, in that situation, would I have had the balls to do that? And the answer was no. And ever since then, I've been terrified of you.
Whilst business is booming, Beef makes sure it jingles too. He commissions Etho to add a no-block jingle to play whenever the machine dispenses cards, or instead of dispensing cards, as is the case with the first purchase.
Me crossing my fingers hoping that everything works, or you might have to hit it again because it wasn't primed.
Okay.
One more time. I'm sure.
It's all right. I've got the music. I'm sure it's fine. I'm
Yes.
sure this is going to work.
Last time.
Absolutely.
I'll be right back.
By the time the tech really starts singing, Azuma presents Beef with the finished battle arena with automated dealing and wheeling. It does not, however, provide sound effects, so the Hermits have to do those themselves, even if they weren't asked to.
All right, well, I'm gonna do an oh yeah over to clear there.
Yeah. He's here
There
to
we go.
actually do the sound.
Do the attacks for me. Do the noise.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
In all this excitement, it's BOO that has to remind Beef about what really matters, that he ran out of wool in his wool shop.
I stopped by to pick up some gray wool today, and
oh no,
I got somebody spit in my face. One of the employees.
Oh, that's not good. And we wouldn't want B-Dubs farming his own wool blocks when instead he could be building sunken pirate ships in Tango Tech's decked out dungeon, or watching the Goonies for research for that matter.
So there we go, our Wooby Boys ship that Tango requested.
The crashed vessel is put in place and ready for boarding. B-Dubs even makes sure the entire thing is spawn-proof, lest it's hijacked by the wrong set of pirate skeletons. And with the job well done, B-Dubs can go on his family vacation in peace.
They have not paid me for a sponsorship, so I will only say that it's a place of wonder and whimsy and magic. Magical kingdom per se. It's a place that's the home of a friendly rat.
Ah yes, everyone's favourite vacation spot, Chuck E. Cheese. Kind of hilariously, XP Crafted actually works really hard to ensure that the visitors of his base know how to leave. Sure, decorating the nether portal leading out won't suggest to them when to leave, but at least the unwelcome guests can clearly see the exit. And now you'd think that was just me being funny, but that really is his stated goal with this project.
So part of the reason that this needs to happen is because every time somebody comes over, they're like, okay, where's the exit? Because it was hard to see. So I'm hoping that this will make it a little bit easier to see. Leave. Just get out, okay? You've overstayed your welcome. You're no longer welcome. No, you're welcome.
And in the same vein, you'd think that the mineshaft facility he built on the surface would serve as an entrance to his chasm, but it seems to actually lead into a wholly unrelated other crevice, maybe to ward off anyone coming in by overworld too. And finally there's Grian, whose property I hope is insured and will be found in disarray as to create the appearance of a common theft and not a targeted break-in. While his collection of unique rare items flourishes, for now, Grian also continues to enrich his floating boulder base. It's his turn on the castle machine, so he builds a very texturally varied fortress keep on the unoccupied side of the rock, above the more quartzy structures. Much of his video is dedicated to reintroducing the audience to the many things going on in his projects, and some is dedicated to eagerly awaiting Mumbo Jumbo's return. which is about the only thing he did that we haven't mentioned in everyone else's segments just yet. Hey, here's a fun challenge. Watch the recap again, and you can assemble your own Grian out of the collab bits. And that's about it for this week's recap. My name is Zedaph, our writer is SloyXP, captions on this video were provided by Liara. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and we'll see you next week. Now, Sloy, stop calling me. Goodbye.